All right, guys, let's clean some glass doors and windows. Um, so here are some, pro tips and, different sort of time estimates that ChatGPT came up with. So anything in here that, doesn't line up with how long it actually takes, please let us know. Jeannie knows exactly how to adjust the time schedule so that we give you enough time to do the job, okay? Um, 5 to 8 minutes per window, okay? On average, we're only getting the insides of the window. I don't want anybody climbing on ladders or trying to get behind bushes to get outside, okay? That's a different kind of job. And we do that job, just not as part of this. Anyway, so first thing you want to do, very first, is to dust the window frame and the sill and the tracks, right? Usually I'll use a vacuum, just get that stuff out of there. Follow it up with a wet rag. You're going to be up there anyways with the Windex, so you might as well, where's the Windex when you need it? There it is. So you're going to be up there with the Windex anyways, right? And usually I'll just use this on the seal. You can either use your finger since you have glove on, but typically I'll just have two rags up there with me. Well, three. First one to do the windowsill, right, and to do the outside or the inside of the tracks, and then one to do the actual cleaning, and then the other, of course, we follow everything up with a microfiber. Okay. Anyways, dust the window seal, the frame, everything. The section on the top of the blinds. I don't know if that's called crown molding, some sort of molding. Anyways, you want to get any dust off of there too, right? Anyways, once you get down to it, spray the glass with a glass cleaner. This isn't the kind that you put on with a wet rag. This is the kind you spray on and then wipe down, okay? You want to do that with a microfiber cloth. Be sure to wipe using an S or circular motion, okay? And then again, like I said, buff it dry with a lint-free cloth, okay? That removes the streaks. You're going to want to wipe down the sill and any smudges or on the trip or, on the trim or surrounding walls as well, because they're going to be looking at the whole thing, okay? Use a second cloth, okay, for a final polish to prevent streaks. This is already something we've talked about, but this is a pro tip that we're looking at. Check for multiple angles, just like everything else. Make sure it's streak-free. And try and avoid overspraying cleaner onto wood trim or paint or anything like that, because we don't want to, put a cleaning agent on something that's not supposed to. Anyway, so as far as sliding glass doors, okay, we want to try and get the interior and exterior of these, okay, when we're in there and it's not a window cleaning job. It's just a regular house turnover, whatever it may be, because pets have a tendency to rub their nose up on the glass outside. People have a tendency to put their hands on the inside, right? So, like usual, start dusting or vacuuming, the tracks and all the edges. Clean inside the glass area with the cleaner, okay? If it's safe to access, clean the outside a little bit, of the window seal, but I don't want you really getting high up there, okay, to wipe off any smudges, okay? Anyways, so, basically apply the window cleaner, S motion, right? Or circular motion, and then follow it up, okay? It's the same thing as windows, except, they're taller and you get the outside of this one, okay? So when you're on the outside, it's important to use a little bit more dwell time. Remember, this is the time part, for the chemistry to actually do its job and work, okay? If you need to do that and then put on another, another coat of Windex, then, by all means do it. But that dwell time is really important outside, okay? Some pro tips: use a detailing brush, right? So if there's a dirty door tracks and it's just like, whoa, that's too dirty, there should be some sort of a detailing brush inside of your kit. And those are great for getting all that stuff out of there, okay? Again, like anything else, clean from top to bottom. That's going to prevent drips that come down as you go. And then, this might be one of those few sections where you need to get up on that step stool just to get that top edge, okay? This one says about 3 to 5 minutes to do the sliding glass door, okay? So, So anyway, some pro tips would be to, use some Q-tips or toothbrushes in really narrow areas. I think that for the most part, you should be able to get everything out with that detail tool, right? And never spray cleaner directly onto the window tracks, right? You don't want to damage any wood surfaces or anything like that. Instead, spray the cloth. Okay. That's it. Typically, they say on average takes 15 to 20 minutes for a standard room with 2 windows and 1 sliding glass door. Okay. That varies. You can't, say exactly how long it's going to take because it depends on how many windows you have. Okay. So we're going to have to try and find somewhere right in between. So keep Jeannie posted on how long it's taking you to do windows, how long it's taking you to do the slider, and, we'll go from there. Okay.